this attitude towards I want to solve a problem is very important in any commercial projects. Yeah.
What advantage do you think Vietnam has to become a good destination for development center, for example? Welcome everyone to Chat with Expert from Luvina, where we discuss various ITO industry topics with our business partner. So for today, we have an interesting topic for you guys. So we are going to discuss a cross-border project between Singapore and Vietnam. To help us with that, we have Ethan here coming from Singapore to offer some insight and some experience on the topic.
Hi everyone, I'm Ethan. I'm a managing partner of Tardigrade, a boutique corporate advisory in Singapore. And in Singapore, we normally look at three things. The first is that to curate innovative growth strategy for traditional SME to break out of the traditional business model. The second one is to actually facilitate their overseas setup in countries like Vietnam and Indonesia. And the third one is to pursue tech development. It could be things like R&D or certain interesting product development that will break out of the traditional business model.
Okay, thank you, Ethan. So your position as a consultancy firm, right? So naturally you will have to bridge between teams of various backgrounds. So what do you think make the most contribution toward a successful team of various multicultural backgrounds?
Okay, because you are working as a cross-border team, so naturally you need to have a curiosity to understand people. It's different language, different culture, different experience. So you need to have that in order to have a better comprehension of how different teams can work together. So the second thing is that you need to know the strength and weakness of all these individuals so that you can extract the talent from them, because everyone is unique and you just got to have a deeper understanding when it comes to a cross-border project.
Yeah. So let's go a little bit deeper in terms of concern of the Singaporean firm when working with IT vendor, for example. So what concern may they have when they're working with unknown destination, for example?
I think the first concern is always about trust, because by and large, we come from a place in Singapore that is a bit more structured. Things are a little bit more organized. So I think sometimes because of a difference in how we run projects, how we understand each other, and how we communicate, so it kind of create a little bit of tensions or maybe understanding that we need to bridge across, you see. And the second thing that I mentioned earlier on is about understanding. You need to invest time to understand each other, and that's where trust can be built.
So understanding people is a very important aspect of the job, right? So what do you think Vietnamese people has that facilitate this kind of understanding between the two firms or in the project?
I think from our observation, Vietnamese people are generally friendly. So as a result, they are always curious to learn, to understand things. And also, I think a part of natural Vietnamese is that they are very hardworking, very dedicated to completing something. So I think with that, we have very good experience with them in the sense that they are always very eager to solve a problem when they encounter it. And this attitude towards I want to solve a problem is very important in any commercial projects. Yeah.
So apart from the people in general, what advantage do you think Vietnam has to become a good destination for development center, for example?
I think in the last 10 or 20 years, the government has invested into education. So what we find is that there's a huge pool of tech talent in the country, and by and large, they are concentrated in the key cities like Ho Chi Minh City, in Hanoi, and in Da Nang. So I think we didn't really face much difficulty in sourcing for the right tech talents, and I think that people are very eager to learn, as said, and as a result, the experience in the last few years have been very positive.
Okay, Ethan, let's have a little bit of fun with numbers. Okay, I'll give you a number or percentage. Now you're going to guess in which category they belong to. All right,
Okay.
Ready for the game?
Yep.
Okay, so let's try one. 50%.
How about this? Graduate or high-level manpower talents at Luvina? No, I think it's much higher, right?
Yes.
So I'm joking. Let me find a better answer to that.
Yes.
I guess is the percentage of IT personnel in Vietnam ready to transit into the AI fields. Am I right?
Correct.
Oh, cool.
But there is another correct answer in there. Can you find it?
How about proportion of senior level personnel at Luvina?
Incorrect.
No? Really? This one. Cost saving rates.
Why do you think that?
Well, I mean, we have run some projects.
Yes.
Definitely my clients had a cost advantage. So I think the answer should be cost saving rates compared to hiring IT staff in developed countries.
Correct. Okay, so next number, 100%.
Let me see. Luvina's clients retention rate?
We wish.
Almost there, right?
Almost
I think,
there.
Yeah. But I think the answer could be the graduate or high level manpower talents at Luvina.
Exactly.
Good.
Next question. How about 90%?
Then the answer should be this. I know this must be the right answer, right?
Yes.
Retention rate in Luvina.
Exactly. Okay, so next question. Top 3.
Top 3 IT company globally. That should be Vietnam, right?
Yes.
Yep. I know this.
Okay, so last one. 60%.
Proportion of senior level personnel at Luvina.
Exact.
Cool.
You remember?
Yep, of course.
So we established that Vietnam is a good destination to do development center and R&D, for example. So you have to search for IT vendor in Vietnam, right? So what will be the evaluation, the criteria that you are going to use when you find yourself a vendor?
I think what I can say is that 3 factors. The first one is that project quality, because when a client commission a project, there's an expected result that they want. So project quality must be there. Okay. Secondly, I think it's being very cost effective. Clients investing, there's an ROI expectation, so that has to be met as well. And the last thing is that in terms of project management, what we find is that it has been very good quality, very transparent communication, and clients are always updated on the progress itself. And to do that, you need a strong team to run the execution of the projects. So maybe you can tell me more about the team profile of Luvina.
For Luvina, for usual project, we will have 60% of senior developer, 30% of middle, and 10% of junior. And this is how we structure the project. So actually, the 60% can be a good foundation and good pilot for the delivery, and the 10% can learn from the middle and the senior, so they can have an environment for growth and they can scale up. So that's how we structure a team.
Right, good to hear that.
Okay, so when you're looking for IT vendors, right, I know that you guys have to do your due diligence, looking up the firm, checking the factor. So what are you looking at when you, finding your IT partners?
I think you're referring to Luvina, right?
Yes.
So I think, okay, of course, being an advisory firm, we'll do our due diligence checks, and I think we are comfortable to say that Luvina has been around for quite a number of years. I think, in fact, you're coming to your 20th anniversary, and I think based on the past application, you dealt with banking. I came from banking sector, and those who have done banking application will know that how tedious, how detailed things can be, you know, when you dive deep into the application itself. And also, I think Luvina does have a huge portfolio of Japanese clients. And if you understand Japanese, generally, they are very meticulous people, very dedicated for a cause, and being very punctual in almost everything. So to be able to serve this pool of clients well, I think there must be a lot in Luvina, and that, I think, leads you to what you are today.
Okay, you mentioned about the banking project, right? So just a fun fact for you. So actually, we have a project with banking sector. There is a very high standard customer. So in COVID, right? You know, there is a period where we had to lock down everything. No one can go home. No one can go to work, right? But the customer require that there's a team to support them 24/7. So how do we do that? So first thing first, we create a project team of 3 shifts, so they can work around the clock, and then we put facilities there in the firm, so we can support their daily lives. Like they can eat in the firm, can eat there, and then shower, and then coming back to work. So also, because the lockdown period is quite long actually, because it's around 1 year, so we have to put them in rotation. So because you can't keep them too long, they will get they don't have a balanced life. So that's what we do for the client. So the project can keep running, and we ensure that the client have a stable line of support for the project.
I see. I think that's quite remarkable because I think during COVID, directly from our project itself, we have seen clients, we have seen our tech partners who have been struggling to cope with the project management itself. It was a period that is very chaotic for a lot of people, not only in Vietnam but across the globe. Many people struggled to actually meet the project completions, and it's very hard to find resources then. There was a lot of disruption in everywhere. So I think it's quite interesting that you guys actually managed the whole situation very well. Yep.
So let's go back to Singapore again. So for Singaporean firms or the country as a whole, in terms of tech-wise, what are you guys looking for?
Okay, you see, Singapore is normally at the forefront of certain tech adoptions, certain tech R&D and development. So to be honest, clients or any corporation in Singapore, we are actually very spoiled for choices. There's a lot of attention being poured into the countries. Generally, we are very well exposed, well aware of tech development. And I would say that in recent times, there's a lot of focus into AI, machine learning applications. It's something that we think that the government is trying to promote. We're trying to push for adoptions, new breakthrough, new development, and also adoptions across the markets in Singapore. Yeah, so maybe something from Luvina with regards to such applications?
Offering from Luvina or Vietnamese as a whole, right? So for traditional development, I think we got it pretty settled because cost here in Vietnam is pretty affordable comparing to Singapore, right? So web development, mobile development, things like that we are already established as a destination already. So now for newer tech like AI, machine learning, so it's hard to find one right now in Singapore because this is still very new, right? But Vietnamese people, they are very highly driven to learn. So that's why you can find that we have a pretty large pool of talent here. So with that, we actually have a base to offer to the client to do a R&D, for example, experimental project, for example, or we can also offer the clients to have the resource for them to do as they want.
I see. Good.
And then, so lastly, what will you say to companies that is considering to enter the Vietnamese market or investing in Vietnam? Do you have any advice, like how is it to work with Vietnamese people, for example?
I would say, in my opinion, and I also have said it in the earlier session that I think you got to understand the people, understand their culture, how people behave, how they conduct their way of life, because I think by and large, Vietnam is a country with a lot of history. It has been around for thousands of years. So there are certain behavioral patterns or culture that is very deeply rooted in how people work, how they function in their life. So I think first and foremost, you got to understand that part first. And secondly, you got to understand that Vietnamese people are generally very adaptable. They are very open to new ideas, very receptive. So you got to put in effort to really understand them and to let them understand you. Okay, with that, I think you probably will have overcome a lot of initial hurdle, to actually expand into Vietnam or to engage the people in Vietnam. I think, yeah, that's from our experience.
Thank you, Ethan. It was very insightful chat with you, and also thank you for the candid thoughts that we share with us.
Yeah, most welcome. I'm very honored to have myself here with you guys, and I also hope that Luvina can actually expand beyond the shore of Vietnam. I've been a good experience with you guys for the last 1-2 years, and I think my clients are very assured from your proactive approach. The always trying to bring new ideas, some innovations in our product development. So happy to see you in Singapore very soon.
Okay, thank you again for the well wish. So Luvina Software as an IT service provider which have 20 years of experience helping the client to deliver the value and the project. We also want to offer assistance to Singaporean clients. So we really want to have a chance to work with you guys. Okay, so that is all for our talk today. If you have any question, any thought that you want to share, please be sure contact us at the link below. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.